Hey, Chris?
Yep.
Quentin.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, man. This is a nice neighborhood you're in, huh?
Yeah.
Of course my phone goes on, huh? Chris Hagerman.
Chris Hagerman. Yep.
Hagerman.
Yep.
Commented on the video, said he's in Aurora, and told him to reach out on Instagram, and just kind of started talking from there. Invited him to the next Lawn Care Accelerator meetup. He got the ramp rack
Sport.
Yep. What's the difference between the ramp rack and the ramp rack sport?
So the sport is the smallest edition they have and the cheapest one.
Okay.
They obviously have the headache rack, like extends out about 2 feet with the other ones. So the original ones come out to like here, but I don't need that.
So that's for like bigger mowers probably,
Yeah,
or
so
more
this-
mowers?
This can fit whatever up to your
Truck bed width.
Yeah. So this can do a 48-inch stand down or whatever.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. How long have you been in business?
So I started mowing for a guy around this area back in 2020, and I noticed like people would come out and ask to mow for them, and he said no, like we're too busy. And we were mowing 30 to 40 lawns a day.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Literally 5 days a week. Obviously, he's all on paper and stuff, so I could look over and see how many yards we have. And he was a $25 a yard type of deal, so I calculated in my head. I'm like, okay, you're making this much, just whatever. So when I saw the demand was there and he was declining business, I was like, why shouldn't I go do this for myself? So I told my dad, hey, I'm gonna start a business. Here's my plan. This is what I'm gonna do. So on the weekend, I actually bought a truck, a little $4,000 truck. And then on the weekend, I started mowing some properties. I got up to about 10 that I did on the weekend on Saturday, and then 2021.
That's not a bad side hustle. 10 on the weekend. That's some good extra money.
Yep.
Especially 4 or 5 times a week or a month sometimes, you know.
So I learned from him. Everything I do, I learned from him.
Okay.
Pricing wise, the same mower, like everything was the same as him. 2021 is when I went full time for myself. I blew up literally in a month. I went from 10 to about 40 weekly that I did by myself. And I spent maybe $500 in marketing, business cards, magnets, yard signs, door hangers, and then like $100 online, which was on Nextdoor. And from there, that's literally all I did in 2021. And then I had enclosed trailers, sold that, had an F-250, sold that.
Did you buy the enclosed trailer for the business?
Yep, because that was my storage unit that I used.
Oh, okay.
So then I was like, then I started watching obviously Mike Andes, and I saw their trailer setup. I was like, oh, that looks way better. So I upgraded all the way, then downgraded, and then I was doing a little 5x8 trailer for a bit with the racks and all that on there. And then I just got this last week, or I want to say a couple days ago. So this is my second day using it.
How do you like it so far?
Good. I wish there was a handle on the side. I'll demonstrate in a few how it works.
So that's something you could probably easily like fix yourself, right?
Just bolt on handle. But other than that, like the spring assist or whatever, this thing, like this is really nice. Once you get it up enough, it just locks in. It's really nice. This is all you do, really. You just go like this, and then you just pull out.
Oh dang.
Yeah. And then I just walk up. And right now, I did have the jungle boot for the wheel. So I do have those. I was thinking about maybe screwing them in on the bed and just locking my wheel in there. But for right now, I just have it strapped in on the mower. So it's not as efficient as I would like it, but again, this is my second day. So this is kind of how I have it for right now. All I do, a little bit of slack here, and I just unlatch it, and then I can just mow and go. And then because the tires are so close, it doesn't bounce around or anything. So when I'm done,
It stays pretty secure in there.
Yep, I just do a like that.
These racks, did that come with the ramp rack?
So I've had this set up right here since last year, beginning of last year. So when I had my trailer, I had all my stuff here, and then I just had my mowers on the trailer.
Okay.
I ordered these last year. So yeah, no, these were separate, but you can obviously get it on the website as well.
Yeah. So how do you like the actual like taking them off and on? Because I know, because like for me, I just think this sits up a little too high.
Like before I had it on my trailer, it was super low. So it was like down here.
Yeah.
Right? And this, like when I went back to this, it's like, oh snap, but you kind of get used to it. I mean, if you're short, it's obviously a hassle, but it's honestly not that bad. And then obviously since I have the Darwin grip, I have to have my trimmer that I use most up top, because otherwise this will just hit the edger if I had it vice versa. So it's honestly not that bad.
How do you like the Darwin grip?
Good. Honestly, when I was mowing for the other guy in 2020, I was just strictly a mower, so I never trimmed. He was always trimming. Towards the end of the year, I was like, yo, is it cool if I trim? Really, it was just so I could practice on my customers when I was trimming. I only used the trimmer without a Darwin's grip for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, like total in my career, I guess. So I've always had the Darwin's grip since the beginning.
That's pretty much what you learned on.
Yeah, that's what I've been using. So I don't know. I mean, obviously when I use the edger a little bit, when I do use the edger, I'm like, gosh, I wish I had the Darwin grip.
Which you don't use the edger as much as a trimmer.
Exactly.
How many yards a day do you do?
I do about 10 to 12, depending on the day.
Yeah, so if you're a solo guy, and especially if you're taller, because I know taller guys and trimmers, you sometimes see a lot of them like, you know, hunched over.
Yeah, and that's how I am with this sucker, because I'm like,
yeah,
obviously got to keep, you know, super overgrown, you got to keep pressure on it so the blade's in the cement. But yeah, when I do use this for either corner lots or just a lot in the beginning of the season, because a lot of them are out of shape from winter, it's like, gosh, I wish I had the Darwin grip. Or when I get new yards and they're all, I got to get the initial edge, say I want this on that. But
yeah, that's cool, man. This is like your second year in business. So you went from 10 to 40. Is that about how many you have now?
Yeah, my first year. So right now I have about 55.
Oh, okay.
Nearing 60. I've brought on some new customers for, actually today I have a new one, and next week I have one on Monday. So like I'm slowly getting there. And once I feel like where I'm maxed out, I actually just got a commercial property yesterday as well. But once I feel maxed out, I think I'm gonna raise the prices on everyone. I'm fine if some get weeded out. I would say on average, I'm probably on the lawn for 15 minutes on each of my lawns.
What's your average price about?
On average, I'm about $37.
Dang, 37 bucks?
Yeah. So this is
that's legit. My minimum is 36. Do you have a minimum?
Yeah, 35.
35. 35 is his minimum, 36 is mine. I usually try and get everyone at least at 38 because I'm anticipating, you know, maybe raising my rates next year. So if I get a lot of these mid-season and later customers at like 38, I hopefully won't have to. I've had them for like 3 months as customers. They come back next year, I won't have to, you know, raise their price, and maybe I can get away with it if I need to in the midsummer or something like that.
So right now my minimum is 40. So anything I send out, it's 40 for weekly. And then obviously I do 50% for bi-weekly of the weekly.
That's what I try not to do bi-weekly, but yeah, I add a 50% extra.
So literally a 20-minute yard or 15-minute yard on a bi-weekly, it's $55, and I'm still down in 15 minutes. But again, that's only 110 in revenue per month for that customer. But yeah, so right now it's 40 minimum for weekly. As I'm nearing the top of my peak for what I could do probably 18 to 20 a day with this type of, you know, how big they are and how long it takes. But, you know, I still got to do admin work in the mornings and stuff like that.
You said your minimum was 35, but now you said it was 40?
Yeah, so my minimum my base minimum. So in the beginning of the season, or no matter the size, is 35. But because I'm like peaked out in my schedule, I'm just like, screw it, 40.
Okay.
Because I don't care if I get customers or not.
So if you get a customer at 40, great. If you don't get a customer at 40, because you're kind of hitting that peak where you can't really take on more. Yeah. But if you do, you're getting that extra $5, and it kind of makes it a little bit more worth it. Okay. So
obviously my close ratio goes down, but I don't really care because I'm still doing a decent amount of revenue mowing, so I'm okay with losing that lead. And again, I still have their information, right? I still have their email, so I can always email market to get them back for next season, potentially.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we said this, but we're doing a discount for 35, even though that's 5 minimum. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
How do you stay hydrated?
What I do is I buy packets of water and then I use Propel.
Okay.
Every day. I go through about a pack 1.5 days. So every day and a half, I go through about a pack.
You just put it with your bottled water?
Yep. So I buy a 40 pack because it's a pain in the butt to bring a gallon thing and then it runs out. So yeah, I just buy that 40 pack and then I buy a bunch of...
So you drink warm water?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand that.
Yeah.
This is front and back for you.
Yep.
How long is this going to take you?
15. Motor Magical. 15 to 20.
15 minutes. That's not bad for a single guy. We're gonna watch him mow this, trim and blow, and load everything up and probably close out the video, let him get back on with his day, because it is Friday. I think it's supposed to be like 96, 97 today, but that wind does feel...
Oh, it feels so good.
Feels really nice. So let's get into it.
All right, let's go.
You trim first, huh?
I trim first.
Okay.
Mainly because when I'm doing the insides, I like to mow up the clippings. And it's just a lot cleaner. I wish I could mow first and then trim, because every time I go over the edge, like grass will do this.
Yeah.
And it just messes up the edge, but I like to trim first though.
Yeah, okay. So I can already tell you, even though he might not have been doing it this long, his knowledge of like how to properly mow a lawn to be as efficient as possible, I think is top notch. As you can see on that last part, he left that tiny strip of grass when he came out of the backyard to mow that, instead of, you know, turning around, mowing that little tiny strip and then having to go back up into the backyard. Like, that stuff he just knew to do. And things like that are small time savers that if you add those up over the course of a day, like, you know, that's just gonna save you so much time.
But save time, more success.
Does it save time though? Because we've been here for about an hour.
No me fault.
Kevin, at most you're saving a microscopic amount of time.
Many small time make big time.
And what are you gonna do with all this time?
Sea World.
So the wind is blowing this way. What he was doing, obviously, was blowing with the wind, so he's not fighting against the wind. He was also blowing the grass back into the lawn, you know, so he's not blowing it back out into the street, because that can look bad and unprofessional. Picking up trash, I like that. So this yard's nice because you have nothing to blow in back, huh?
Yeah.
I like those yards. And it latches automatically, huh?
Yep. Then I go, low and go.
Why did you switch from the, you had a, what, 5x8? 5x8 trailer. Why did you switch from that to the ramp rack?
Well, mainly because, one, I operate out of my garage. So every day I would have to unlatch the trailer and then hand push it in. So that was getting really annoying. Another reason, I'm thinking for the future, for when I scale, I'm not gonna have to train someone on how to back a trailer up. And it's just way more efficient already, I can tell. Even though I'm still trying to figure out how I wanna do my mower and stuff, but from that aspect, and then really just storage is like the space. I don't have to pay insurance on my trailer, maintenance, tires.
One thing I noticed when you were mowing,
Yeah.
and I mentioned that on the video, but that little strip that you left
Yeah.
for when you came back out of the backyard,
Yeah.
like all that stuff is just like time savers.
Yeah.
You don't think about it because it, you know, it's 10, 15 seconds maybe, but like if you add that stuff up over the course of a day, like it's just less walking. You're going to be less tired. Also in the backyard, when you were doing your cut, you went to that smaller area when you made that cut. Like that's something smart to do also, you know, so you're not doing the stripes that you were doing and then having to go up there like you were just right there.
I just added it in there.
Exactly.
Same with, if you saw how I do my objects, the trees, the little objects in there, I went and it's kind of hard to explain unless you watch the video back. I went and did a circle and continued, and then when I came back, I went the opposite way. That allowed the stripes to still look good without a big tire bulge on the other side.
Yeah, I'll try and cut out that little part to where you
You'll
just said
see how
that.
I
So
did all that.
yeah,
That's what allows you to have those clean stripes through trees. That's how you have that like endless stripe look to it.
yeah. And yeah, just also like trimming, you know, like you were over by the gate, and instead of like finishing up over here, you went like you were already there at the gate, so it's like may as well trim the backyard, and then when I come out I can finish trimming the rest of this. I also mentioned blowing. You're blowing with the wind and back into the lawn, which is huge because I see so many guys like make a mess in you know, on the walks, and then they just like blow it out into the streets, you know, hoping cars take it on down the road. But yeah, for being like your second year in business, like I think you have great knowledge on like how to be as efficient as possible.
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm always thinking 2 steps ahead, especially like with the gate situation. You saw how I trimmed, and then if you saw, I could trim both ways. I can go backwards and forwards. That allows me to go around objects like this instead of trimming here, then going up there, then going backwards. So just learning those techniques will, especially your guys in the future, it's gonna.
And you didn't necessarily know that when you're working for someone else, because you were straight mowing.
Yeah, whenever you work for yourself, or like you're trying to figure out the most efficient way or be as efficient as possible, you just naturally will have to do that type of thing.
Yeah, you get done with the yard and you're like, how can I make that go faster? And then it just like stuff just starts coming to you like, yeah, I can do that, or I cannot do that. So what do you do with your clippings? Because I noticed you don't have a lot of room. So
normally I ran out of garbage bags. Usually I leave it with the customers. I'll have the bags kind of looped on the side.
Okay.
So when I'm mowing, usually I do leave a bag with her, but just to be nice, and I don't have it all ready right now, I'm gonna take it with me, and then I'll get rid of it slowly as I go on throughout my day. But normally I do leave it with the customer. They all know that. I leave it on the side of the house, not on the driveway, because you don't want them to run it over and create a big mess.
Or even if they have HOAs, like leaving a black bag in the driveway, like, you know, they can get
I put it up
notices
to make it look as clean as possible, so whenever they do their garbage, they can just throw it in there. That's not that big of a deal.
I also noticed you don't have gas cans in the back. Do you not have gas cans throughout the day?
Nope, I don't.
Are they at your storage
Yep,
space?
I fill up every morning
Okay.
in my garage. Mainly at the top off the mower, it's always about a quarter filled. So I go through about 3/4 of a gallon. And then I do bring this with. I don't use it every day, but I do that because my handheld, when it gets super hot, it doesn't start.
Yeah.
So I learned once, like, I didn't have this with me. Obviously it was in my garage, but I didn't have it, so I realized, okay, I need to bring this with, so when that doesn't start, this always starts. Another thing I want to show you guys, actually, so I use a speed feed head, and I go through about like 3 of these a season. As you can see, I added a bolt.
Did you get that from Brian's Lawn Maintenance?
Yeah,
I've been thinking about doing that too.
Yeah, you honestly just pop out this spring, and it's super easy to do. Obviously, just get the head kit, so you don't have to buy the whole thing out Home Depot for $40. You can get a kit on Amazon. So I did order some of those. I do have a backup in the truck, but just wanted to show people that haven't seen that before, because I think this saves you a lot of money and time.
What management software
I use
do you
Yardbook.
use? Yardbook. Okay. Are you on the free version or the paid version?
So I've been using the free version. I actually just upgraded to the $35 a month plan, the business plan, it's called, about 3 weeks ago. And that was mainly just to get the email bulk
Mass
emails.
email,
Yeah,
mass
just
texting.
to get that out. Because before I would have to text each one of my customers. Like, I could use MailChimp or any of that, but I just didn't want to mess with it. So.
Yeah. Do you keep track of your time with Yardbook? Do you use the clock in, clock out feature?
I did that for a few weeks, so I already know, like, I have a sample size, I guess, for the summer, but so I don't do it right now, but I've already got what my numbers are, so I need to do it this fall and in the spring, so I can see how long it takes to mow. So when
Spring is going to be longer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Reoccurring services, I require card on file. And I don't put them on the schedule until then.
Same with me, man.
Once I get the email saying they're successfully card on file, then I'll email them, oh, your start here and blah, blah, blah. I've had some issues with insufficient funds already. So with customers like that, I'm gonna make them prepay the month because I'm not gonna deal with that. I already have 2 invoices that haven't been paid, and I actually skipped them this week. So going forward, and if you want me to service, you're prepaying the month.
That's actually not a bad idea, because this past week I had to cancel a guy because it's been 4 times, because I do my billing weekly.
Yep, so do I.
Okay, so I invoice every Sunday for the previous week, and then I charge the cars on Wednesday. And there were 4 times that I tried charging his card and it said insufficient funds.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, let me add money. And I'm like, okay, but I had to do that like 4 times. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna need an updated card on file before I can continue servicing your lawn.
Yep.
He never updated his card on file. I sent him like 3 extra links, like, hey, if you want us to be out there. And he didn't, so I had to skip him this week, and he's, going to be off my schedule. But that's actually not a bad idea.
I do the card on file, and I give them the option. If they don't want card on file, then they have to prepay the month. So you can send me a check, but you're prepaying the month. So I do have one customer that does that, which is fine, cool. I get my cash flow, and I don't pay the fees, so it's even better. I prefer it, but
that's going to be it for this video. I appreciate you letting me come out and tag along. I know it's on a Friday, and this probably took you 2 or 3 times as long to do, but follow him on Instagram. You're on Instagram and YouTube.
TikTok, YouTube.
Okay.
Those are the 3 platforms.
Yeah, I'll put those links down in the description below, so give them a follow. And yeah, man, it was nice meeting you.
You as well.
And I'm looking forward to, building a relationship with you at Lawn Care Accelerator, and, helping, you get bigger if you want to, or more efficient, make more money. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below on what you think of Chris's ramp rack setup. I think it's actually really efficient, and like I said, it's something I'm going to be seriously interested in, if I get truck number 2. So all right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Later.
Bye, guys.